Hi everybody, good morning. It's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path, and it's time for another early morning book review. So this time we are going to be talking about the most expensive paperback I have ever bought. I bought this paperback at Half Price Books in Dallas, Texas, and it was $25, and that's the most I've ever paid for a vintage paperback, and I can't wait to tell you about it. But first I want to say, if you're just joining me, which I don't normally do this, if you're just joining me, you are so welcome. We're going to talk about vintage books, we're going to talk about gothic books, we're going to talk about scary books, we're going to talk about funny books, we're going to talk about all sorts of things. And if you're one of my subscribers who's come back to see me again, thank you. I'm so excited to see you, and I hope I get lots and lots of comments from new friends and from old friends. I love the comments, so give me some comments. Okay, now back to the paperback. The paperback, so there's my $25 sticker on it, and I'm going to take it out of the protective covering. Okay, this is called The Night Strangler, okay? And it was the bone-chilling sequel to The Night Stalker. Now, before we go any further, let me be clear. This is not about Richard Ramirez. No. This is about Kolchak. And Carl Kolchak was kind of I don't want to say kind of, he was the first X-Files. And we all know how much I love the X-Files. I love them. So if you don't, this character is played by Darren McGavin, and I'm going to put a picture up. If you don't know who Darren McGavin is in Kolchak the Night Stalker, then you will know the Darren McGavin from A Christmas Story. And so I have that picture up there also so that you will recognize him. But anyway, he played Carl Kolchak, and Carl Kolchak was a newspaper reporter in Chicago. And he reported on the supernatural, and I mean, like, nobody believed him. Nobody believed his stories and everything like that. But he investigated werewolves and vampires, and I remember this one where he investigated Jack the Ripper reincarnated and everything like that, and it was just super fun. And he was, I believe, actually the basis for the X-Files, because there's a wonderful, if you binge watch the X-Files, which I have recently done with my son, there's two episodes that he is in, and they credit him with being the original creator of the X-Files. But enough about that, let's talk about the book. Okay, so the book is The Night Strangler, and it takes place in Seattle. And so what happens is these women go out after dark and they get strangled to death. And nobody can figure out how it's being done because it's so quick, and the police are monitoring this area where it's happening and everything like that, and nobody can figure out how it's done. Well, Kolchak starts to investigate. Now, he's always in trouble with his newspaper. He's always either getting fired or they're threatening to fire him or something like that. So in this one, he's recently been fired, and he goes to Seattle in order to get this other job with a friend of his. And his friend kind of throws him a bone and gives him a job, but tells him, don't investigate any of the weird stuff. It's just a murder, just don't overthink it and everything like that. But of course, we know that it's not. So what happens is that he researches that every 21 years, the same 6 murders take place in the same place. And they've been going back to well into the 1890s. Every 21 years, the same murder takes place. And at the back of their necks, they find puncture wounds. Of the victims' necks, they find puncture wounds. But not like vampire puncture wounds, like more like syringe puncture wounds. But anyway. I don't want to give it all away. It is so much fun. I had so much fun reading it. I really felt like I was a kid again, and it was Friday night, and I was watching with my brother on the sofa like this, to find out what Carl Kolchak was going to investigate that week. And it's super fun. He's got great characters. Kolchak himself, this was written by a guy by the name of Jeff Rice. And it's written in one of those stories. I don't know, have you ever seen those stories like, I forget. There's a name for it, but I forget what the name is. But what it is like Watson from Sherlock Holmes and Watson. Watson has uncovered a manuscript. And so he has at the beginning of the book, he has like, I'm John Watson, and I didn't know this manuscript existed, and blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. And so Jeff Rice writes it like a little prologue and everything like that. And like Kolchak, here's Kolchak's signature. Like Kolchak has sent him this manuscript and wants him to get it published so the world will know that he was not crazy when he found out who the Night Strangler was. But anyway, it was just so much fun. I would have paid $35 for it. I don't think I would have gone over that, but it really was a find, something for my collection, and I was so thrilled to find it. I didn't even bat an eye at the $25 because I would read if there's more, and I don't know, I haven't looked because I've been like on a work trip and everything like that, so I haven't done my research, but I would read more of The Night Stalker. But again, not talking about Richard Ramirez, the real Night Stalker. I don't know that I would read about him. Anyway, tell me if you remember the Night Stalker TV series. Tell me if you liked it, if you didn't like it. Tell me if you don't even know what I'm talking about. Just leave me a comment. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And I will check you later.